We have two other members of the Republican State Central Committee here, Mary Ann Turner, Enfield, so you can see we attracted a few more folks, not only in the 30th, but outside the 30th, and that's what we need to do, because the situation in Connecticut is dire. We have seen what radical liberal Democrats do when they have complete control. And part of the reason we wanted to do this is to generate some enthusiasm and some energy in our party so that we can go out and register more Republicans, so we get more Republican votes and more Republicans elected. We all have found out the hard way that elections matter and elections have consequences. I'm not going to stay and give you the list of what's going on. You know what's going on. And I think as a party, we need to re-energize. We need to be passionate. We need to be out there with our message. And we need to make sure that we deliver our votes and the votes of like-minded folks. And if we can take back Connecticut, we will have the opportunity to show everybody what Republican values and Republican ideas, when implemented, can do to make a positive result for all people in this state. Because right now, we're not getting anything positive out of Hartford, and certainly not out of the United States House of Representatives. That being said, we are very pleased today to have Scott Presler, who come and talk to us about voter registration. Scott worked for the Virginia GOP in 2016 in efforts to defeat Hillary Clinton and elect after the massacre at the Orlando nightclub. Scott decided to go to work for Act for America, and he worked for them for a little more than a year. And now he's totally dedicated to doing everything he can to help Republicans get more registration and work diligently for the re-election of our president. So we're very glad to be here. One of the things I want to say, Scott came here on his own dime. That's how passionate he is about what he's doing. So we have a green bucket here we'll pass around. If you'd like to throw in some money to help him with his expenses of getting here, that would be terrific. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Presler, and we'll learn something.
Thank you very much. Can somebody please hit the lights for me? Hello, Kent! Would have ever thought a long-haired Republican could generate so much controversy? But I saw in the New Times, they had an article. It was a hit piece against me, and it said, the Kent Town Democrat Committee was unable to stop the Presler on that. But in all seriousness, I would like to thank the Kent Democrats for waking up on this beautiful Saturday. I woke them up to go protest. But thank you for being here. So many of you are from Twitter, and I know so many of you from years of our dedication to our president and Republican policies. And I know many of you drove hours to be here, so thank you very, very much. And let's get started. I know some people are going to be leaving, so I'm going right into it. My goal today is to encourage and urge the Republican Party that if we do not begin registering new Republican voters right now, today, then President Trump is not going to be successful in 2020. So I'm going to start out on a little bit of a somber tone, and we'll get more positive as we go. In 2008, the Democrats registered 283,000 new voters in the state of Virginia. I'm using Virginia because Virginia was once a reliably Republican state that voted for George Bush. But now, because of voter registration, it is a reliably Democrat state. And that was Organizing for America, the Obama machine that turned Virginia blue. I want you to remember these numbers. 1.7 million Republican, 1.9 million Democrat. Think about those numbers in your head. In 2004, George Bush won Virginia with 1.7 million votes. Kerry lost with 1.4. So what did the Democrats do? They spent the next couple years registering voters. Now listen to these numbers. In 2008, President Obama won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. And John McCain lost Virginia with 1.7. Notice, 2004 to 2008, 1.7. We didn't grow while the Democrats jumped 500,000 new votes. Remember those numbers, 1.9, 1.7. In 2012, President Obama won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. Can anybody guess? What did Mitt Romney get? 1.7. Fast forward to 2016, Hillary Clinton won Virginia with 1.9 million votes. Guess what Donald Trump lost by? 1.7. So what did we learn? From 2004 to 2016, 12 years, the Republican Party flatlined. The Republican Party plateaued. The Republican Party did not grow, while the Democrats registered new voters, mobilized those voters, and pushed them to the polls, right? And it doesn't take that much work. It's very easy. I'm going to explain to you just how easy it is. But it shows you how quickly a reliably Republican state can flip blue. We need to start registering voters now. You can't see it, but it's a really funny picture of Jeb Bush in front of America, low energy Jeb Bush. But I'm not a magician, I'm not a crystal ball reader, but I'm telling you right now, unless you register new voters, I make a prediction. President Trump will lose Virginia with 1.7 million votes, and Kamala Harris or Cory Booker, whoever the Democrat candidate is, will win Virginia with 1.9 million unless we start registering new voters in states like Connecticut today. 2020 Senate map. So our map in 2020 actually looks good. Right now, Republicans control the Senate by 53 to 47. With a few Mitt Romney, a few in there that we won't talk about. But we do have a couple vulnerable seats. Arizona, we lost with Martha McSally. And Arizona's a red state. We won with Governor Doug Ducey, who's a Republican. Arizona, the Democrats can flip that seat in 2020. Colorado, Cory Gardner is another vulnerable Republican and a state that votes Democrat in presidential years. Georgia, Socialist Stacey Abrams almost won in Georgia in a midterm election year. Iowa, Joni Ernst, although she's a woman, although we just elected a Republican governor in Iowa, and although that President Trump won Iowa in 2016, it voted for President Obama twice. Iowa is not a shoo-in state by any means. Maine, the Democrats hate Susan Collins. Why? Because she was one of the deciding votes for Justice Brett Kavanaugh when they tried to ruin his life. They are raising millions and millions of dollars to defeat Susan. She's one of their #1 priorities. North Carolina, Thanks to you all, we were able to convince Thom Tillis to vote for President Trump's national security order, which shows you the power of making phone calls and calling and tweeting and Facebooking. But we have to let these senators know that they need to vote with our president, and he is still a vulnerable Republican in North Carolina in 2020. But it's not all bad news. It's not all bad. In Alabama, that is our best shot at defeating Doug Jones because he's up for election in 2020. So we can add to our Senate majority. And we shouldn't take it for granted though. The Democrats are going to do, mark my words, whatever it takes to win. Whatever it takes. I don't care if it's Tennessee or Texas or Wyoming. We're going to fight for every seat. We're not going to concede any seat. We're going to take every seat seriously. Michigan's also in play, guys. In 2016, we won the state. And since, President Trump has been supporting the automotive industry. Fiat Chrysler is opening up a new manufacturing plant, as well as investing in other 4 manufacturing plants, bringing 4,500 jobs to the state of Michigan. Michigan's in play 100%. And last, New Hampshire. Some people say, Scott, New Hampshire's a blue state. No, it is very purple. They just elected Governor Sununu, a Republican, in the same time that they voted for some Democrats congressionally. It is a purple state, it's not blue. New Hampshire is an opportunity. We only lost by a couple thousand votes in 2016. So keep your eyes open on New Hampshire as well. Here are some awesome pictures that you can't see, but I promise they're really cool. I promise. Just believe me. In the top left-hand corner, there's a photo of me with a group of Black Virginia Beach Americans, and we're on the street corner. One thing that I do is I go out there, you know I'm a protester. I go out with my sign and it says, 3.6 million Black children in poverty, why do Democrats choose illegal aliens first? And I do this often, and I do this repetitively and consistently to try to hammer home in people's minds that we're not going away. And I do care, I do give a darn. And I had a group of people come over to me, and at first they were antagonistic. They wanted to know, what the heck are you doing? What are you trying to say? You know, what's your mission? And when I explained to them, I want to put the American people first. I want to see our children succeed. I want opportunity for every single one of our American kids to come first. At the end of it, we're taking a selfie together, and 2 of the ladies invite me to a minority part of Virginia Beach to do voter registration. And I said, I promise you, I'll be there this Saturday. I'll go out into the neighborhood and register voters. Guess what? I kept my promise, and I went out there and registered voters with these young ladies. But that picture, those interactions would have never happened had I not been out on a street corner showing people that I do care and actually raising my voice. In the middle, you have us at Taste Buds Popcorn. Again, I promise it's there. And we have a voter registration table. And you see this older woman, she's been over the table, and she said to us, I haven't voted since '64. She said, Trump inspired me to get active. There are a lot of people that are angry, that are disenfranchised, that have felt like for so long that their votes haven't mattered. We have to touch their lives. We have to be there to welcome them. Very much like I know there are walk-away people here like Raina and Lisa that have walked away from the Democrat Party. We have to be there to welcome them with open arms. But we're never going to do that unless we're out in the community talking to them. Because while I can talk to wonderful Republicans like you and conservatives all day long, it's great, but we also need to be out in the community to grow the Republican Party, to strengthen our numbers, to get young folks in, etc. Third picture, we're at the beach. You guys have beaches here in Connecticut, right? Excellent. No, because I was in Pittsburgh and I said, you can go to the beach. And they said, Scott, we don't have beaches here. So I'm just making sure. I said, you can go to the river. So we went out with Stop Hillary bumper stickers. And I got rid of those Stop Hillary bumper stickers in a second. Oh my gosh, they were so popular. People hated Hillary Clinton. It was wonderful. And, and we had a blast. It was a girl I met at Starbucks, Kristen, Robert, who was my intern, and Jared, and we just had a fun time doing something together, which is a bonding experience, while also strengthening the Republican Party and getting people to turn on Hillary. I'm sorry, but you can't beat that. At the beach, you can't beat that. Next picture, we're at church. Yes, I said church. I'm going to go into churches more in a second. Next picture, it says register to vote at the library. You can ask for permission from your local library. Again, I don't know how populated it's going to be in a city like Kent or New Milford, but you go where the people are. Last picture, we're at Tidewater Community College. I've been to Christopher Newport University, TCC. I've been to tons and tons of universities talking with college kids, and that's what we have to do. And I don't care if you're 16 or 60, we need to have a presence on college campuses fighting the indoctrination that they're receiving on a daily basis. And you don't have to be of a certain age to talk to anybody. Where to register voters? There is a picture here of two gals at a gun shop, Bob's Gun Shop in Norfolk, Virginia. This guy's so nice that I got permission from him to go in his gun shop, and he would ask me what I want for lunch and what my friends wanted for lunch too. You never know unless you ask. So ask your gun shop owners, ask your gun fair people if you can set up a voter registration table. The worst that they're going to say to you is no. I always say that asking for permission is a lot like dating. Okay, somebody says no to you, you move on to someone else. You got 300 million people in the United States. So where do you register a vote unless you're Joe Biden, in which case you just do. Where to register voters? Shopping centers, tailgate events, gun shops, gun shows, crawfish festivals. Yes, I did say crawfish festivals, they do exist. I went down to Texas. Beaches, churches, parks. Your goal is wherever the people are, I want to be with the people. I want to be talking to people. Churches. So this is very important. Churches do have a tax-exempt status, right? Which means that they can't be political. Can't push Republican, you can't push Democrat. But you can ask your pastor or rabbi for permission. And I'd say, hey, you know, Rabbi, I'd like to set up a voter registration table after synagogue. And I'm not going to be pushing any party, no Republican, no Democrat. I just want to register people to vote nonpartisan and ask for permission. Again, worst you can say is no, you move on. Same thing with your parishioner or your pastor at church. Ask for permission. Be very clear that you are not pushing a political agenda. You just want to register people to vote. That's it. Materials needed. So I'm not asking you guys to break the bank. You don't have to pay a whole lot of money. All you need is a clipboard, pens, voter registration forms, and a sign-up form. It's literally going to take a couple bucks to go out into your community and register voters. And what I do is I know that I have a table here, and I know that we're a big fan of walls. However, if you do have a table or chairs, I ask a couple things of you. I ask that you don't sit behind the table just because a table is an inhibitor or a barrier. And I want to show you that I'm open and I'm welcoming and that I'm friendly, right? And if I'm sitting just behind a table, people aren't going to come up to me. They're not going to walk up to a Republican table. I need to bring them and say, hey, bring that dog over here, that beautiful animal, and come over and get registered to vote. You know, just be engaging and warm and friendly. How to approach a voter. So people always laugh at this, but again, you can't see the picture. I'm literally hugging a person in this photo, and it said me at the walkaway march with Brandon Strock in DC. And the funny part is, no, you don't approach a voter by hugging them. I just want to make that very clear. You do not hug them. But I'm going to ask Lisa to the stage to please help me describe to you the 3 most common ways that you're going to meet somebody out in the street. Now let's give a round of applause for Lisa. This woman put me up on my phone, picked me up at the airport, made pot roast for me, I mean, come on. Thank you. Okay, so the first interaction that we're gonna have is she is a Republican voter, but she is not registered to vote. Okay? So I've got my clipboard, I've got my pen, I've got my voter registration form, and let's just say that we're at the New Milford supermarket. Okay? I'm gonna go up to her. How do you feel about securing the border?
Build the wall.
A woman after my own heart. No. And I'd say, excellent. Are you registered to vote at your current Connecticut address?
Why, no, I'm not.
Well, I can register you to vote right here, right now, in 2 minutes flat. Excellent. So 90% of communication is body language. I'm not done with you just yet. 90% of communication is body language. So as soon as I found out that she is not registered to vote, you think I'm letting her get away? No way. I'm going to very nicely, but aggressively, kind of shove the clipboard her direction, because most people are very agreeable. They'll take it, right? They're going to be like, okay, whatever, I'll take this darn clipboard, I'll sign whatever he wants, and he'll leave me alone. Good. Because we want the data. We want to make sure this person actually gets registered to vote, and we turn it in for them. Because if somebody's not registered, there's a reason why they're not registered, for a number of reasons. We are the middleman to make sure we're creating new voters. Okay, next one. You are a die-hard Republican, but you're already registered to vote. How do you feel about supporting our men and women in blue who put their lives on the line for us every single day?
I love them.
Okay, excellent. Are you registered to vote at your current Connecticut address?
Why, yes, I am.
Awesome. Will you sign my Back the Blue petition, which I'm going to hand over to our Senator Craig Minor? Excellent. So if somebody's already registered to vote, we don't want to lose that contact. It's so important that when you meet somebody like-minded, first words out of your mouth after you introduce yourself, are you registered? And then you want to trade. And I hope all of you, all my Twitter people, all the people here, trade information with each other, keep these connections alive, stay connected. And that person, she could become a volunteer, an activist, a precinct captain, a committee woman. You never know unless you ask. Now, I want you to look at this woman, Lisa, and I want you to pretend that she is a Stacey Abrams loving. 1024th Elizabeth Warren loving. Open borders. And she doesn't think that there are enough sanctuary cities. Okay, so just put that in your head for a second. That's her. Okay, so I'm gonna come up to her. Hi there, how do you feel about securing our border?
We shouldn't even have borders.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope that you have a great day. Thank you very much. Please give it up for Lisa. Please. Thank you. So there are some people out there that I'm asking not of your money or anything, but of your time. If you have an hour to register voters, you're not going to win everybody over, and you're not going to spend your time 30 minutes talking to someone trying to convince them. You're going to move on. You meet somebody, because, for example, if somebody tried to ask for my vote for Kamala Harris, do you think they're going to flip me? No. No way. I might just stand there and waste their time for the next hour trying to be like, twiddle my hair or whatever. But no, the fact of the matter is you need to use your time efficiently, effectively, strategically. Those are all things that we're doing. If you only have an hour, make sure you're using that hour to maximize your efforts. So those are the three most common things. Clipboard, voter registration form, sign-up sheet, pens, boom. And it's up to you what you want to wear. If you want to wear and be all decked out in Trump gear, sure. Or if you just want to wear red, white, and blue, awesome. If you want to go in plain clothes, it's up to you. You guys know the area better than I do. If you're in a more conservative area, go decked out in Trump. If you are in Hartford, Connecticut, do not. Right? Hartford's real blue. Okay, so this slide is how to make sure people are conservative. We just went over that. This is a pictures guide, which is very ironic because you cannot see the pictures. But in the left-hand corner is a beautiful photo of Justice Kavanaugh's family. And for me especially, when I see Justice Kavanaugh, it brings up emotion for me. It brings up strong emotion because the Democrats tried to ruin him. The Democrats tried to destroy the lives of he, his 2 little girls, and his wife, and I'll never forget that as long as I live. So that picture always just evokes feeling. And I don't mean this as a dig against Democrats or Republicans, but we think differently. Democrats think with their hearts. They think feeling. They think emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. Republicans think more with our heads. We think more logically, we think more factually, right? So in order to talk to Democrats, we need to tailor our message to Democrats. And let's go over an example. Let's talk about immigration. Immigration is probably one of the most polarizing issues in the country. So let's say I'm talking to a Republican. I'll say, there are the majority of girls coming up from the southern border. Their mothers have to give them birth control to make sure they are not harassed. And that's a terrible thing, but it's true. But if I'm talking to a Democrat, let's talk about this. If I'm talking to a Democrat about immigration, I'll say, Kate Steinle was a young girl in California. She had a mom and a dad. She had dreams. She had a life to lead. She was young. And her life was taken away from her by an illegal alien, and she was murdered in California. We need to be better at storytelling and telling the story of lives that were taken to truly hit home, to truly hit the hearts of Democrats. And when we do that, I think we'll be more successful of being able to articulate why we are compassionate, why we are humanitarians, why we are caring, why we are pro-women. Immigration is a women's issue. Next picture. You have a picture of President Trump being held onto tightly by an elderly black woman who lost her granddaughter in New York City, who was a police officer. And this picture is so important because, again, it evokes feeling, it evokes emotion. And in this day and age, when everybody tries to say President Trump is a racist, here you have this beautiful photo of this woman who understands that President Trump is supporting our Leos, supporting our police, supporting our military, supporting the American people. So whenever you see my Twitter, I'm usually putting out a tweet on pictures or videos. I want to evoke feeling. I want to evoke emotion. That's why I do that. What to take pictures of? You have a clipboard with your voter registration forms. Take a picture. I'm at the New Milford Library. I'm registering voters. You have to show that we are active. President Obama won in 2008 and 2012 in part because he successfully utilized social media. And as we all know, President Trump loves to tweet, and that's part of the reason why he won in 2016. We have to effectively use social media, and part of the reason why is, look at this right here. I would say half of the crowd here are because of Twitter. That's power. That's extremely powerful, and we need to utilize it. Example social media post. So on the left-hand side, I have 3 beautiful young girls at the beach with Stop Hillary bumper stickers, those same bumper stickers I was talking to you about. Now that picture to me is gold because I can show that to other young women and say, see, they don't like her either. And they've got these Stop Hillary bumper stickers. And I tweeted out, we are at the boardwalk, oceanfront in Virginia Beach, registering voters, hashtag Lead Right 2016. So what did I do? I included a picture. I was short, I was succinct, I told you where we are, I told you what we're doing. That's a good social media post. Next post, I got people leaning over a table, registering voters at the Strawberry Pungo Festival. Yes, they do have Strawberry Pungo Festivals in Virginia. And I say, registering more voters at the Pungo Strawberry Festival, hashtag Virginia picture. That's another gold social media tweet. I tell you what I'm doing, I'm succinct, I'm to the point, and I show you that Republicans are active, engaged, doing something. Because every time we turn around, the Democrats are out protesting, like they are now, or marching, or demonstrating, or doing what they do. So, how easy is, so somebody may say to me, Scott, how do I register new voters in Connecticut? This is how easy it is. This is how simple it is. Schedule a time to register voters. I'm going to register voters at the Kent Community House. Pick a public location, okay, got the house. Set a beginning and end time, 12 to 2. Ask your family and friends to help. I'm going to ask Blue and this young lady to come help me. Pick up voter registration forms from your local voter registrar. Okay, get my forms. Pick up sign-in forms. Get a clipboard, get pens. Follow through, a novel idea. And input voter registration into an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to get to that in a second. Last thing, turn in the forms. It's so easy. You pick up the forms, you get your materials, you go register people to vote, you turn in the forms. Boom, you just created Republican voters. Data is king. What does that mean? Well, it's not good enough to just register someone to vote. We have to push them to the polls, right? So let's say that I register Brendan to vote. It's not good enough to just register him, because how do I know he's going to go vote? I need to follow up with Brendan and say, do you have a ride to the polls? Do you have an ID? Do you know where your polling location is? Then, once I have done that, I have successfully mobilized and optimized that voter to actually go vote. You have to follow through. Create an Excel spreadsheet. So I registered over 500 voters in Virginia. 500. I'm just one guy. We had an election that was won by 300 votes. So imagine, if I'm one guy and I register 500 people and I push them to the polls, I can swing a statewide election as one person. So don't ever let somebody tell you that one person doesn't matter, that one vote doesn't count. It does, and they do. You want to save the data of people you register to vote, right? First name, last name, email address, phone number, home address. Perfectly legal to do. You don't do things like date of birth, you don't do things like social security number. You want people's data to stay in touch with them for volunteers and to push them to the polls. Okay, a lot of these slides are states that do not require training because I do training all across the country, so I'm going to skip some of these. The only other rule in Connecticut is the voter registration forms are due 7 days before Election Day. So after you have a form, you want to turn it into your voter registration office as soon as possible, or at the latest, 7 days before Election Day for it to actually count. And a lot of these are states that require. I'm going to give you a little tidbit of information. The only state in the country that does not have voter registration is North Dakota. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting? How are other ways that you can become an activist? So some of you may see the back of my laptop. One thing that I do is I sit at Starbucks and I strategically face towards the door, real subtly. And I'll just sit there, and I love people watching. I'll secretly, kind of see if anyone's giving me the evil eye, or, it's funny because Republicans, we're not loud. I don't know why. Some people will be like, And I'm like, is this person, what, are they twitching at me? What are you doing? I don't know. If you see me, come over and talk. But we need to find creative ways to get out the vote, whether it's wearing a Trump pin, or putting something on your laptop, or putting something on your car, or wearing a shirt like Brendan gave me today. But I can't tell you, every single Starbucks I've ever gone to, ever, I don't care if it's in Pittsburgh, or Virginia, or wherever I travel to, Florida, I've always had at least one person come up to me. And what do you think I asked them? Are you registered to vote at your current address? So have fun with it. Although this is negative, and although you can sometimes feel depressed, and although I understand politics is like it is, have fun. You know, we need to have fun while we're saving our country at the same time. Knock on doors. I just spent the last month in Pittsburgh knocking on doors. Knocking on doors is so important, especially if you're a candidate. You need to be out talking to the people. They need to know who you are. They need to know when to vote. And if they're not registered to vote, hey, I have voter registration forms. I can register you to vote right here. So we need to be out knocking on doors. I know it's not the most fun thing that everybody wants to sign up for, but hey, we're saving our country, people. Come on. We can knock on a few doors. Make phone calls, letters to voters. So the Democrats, they're really, let me tell you, the Democrats are more organized than Republicans. It's actually really sad. The Democrats have this thing called postcards to voters. So they got people in New York and California writing handwritten letters into other states across the country to make sure that Democrats are winning in other states. Are Republicans doing that? I haven't heard. So back in 2018, right before the elections, I came up with letters to voters. And we hand-wrote letters to Missouri, to West Virginia, and to North Dakota, I think it was. And we won in North Dakota. We won in Missouri. And although we lost with Manchin in West Virginia, it was going to be close. But the fact of the matter is I had Grandma in Appalachia who said, Scott, I'm at my Appalachia countertop right now, and I'm writing handwritten letters out into Missouri, and I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm helping. So there's something for everybody. If you can't door knock, you can make phone calls. If you can't make phone calls, you can write letters. If you can't write letters, you can help train other people how to register voters. So there's something for everybody. But if we all do our part, we'll defeat the Democrats. An organized minority is louder than a silent majority. An organized minority is louder than a silent majority. Community service. In Virginia Beach, we pick up trash. My friends think I'm weird. I text Miles and say, hey Miles, you want to come out and pick up trash with me? He's like, no. So, but I'll go out in my Trump shirt. I'll go out with a Trump sign, literally, that I wear as a backpack. I know it's a little weird, but I have fun with it. And I'll pick up trash in my community, and people are probably like, what the heck is this guy doing? This Trump supporter is out picking up trash. I don't get it. But it's still, we need more good PR. We need to show people that we are kind, caring, empathic people that do give a darn about our community. And in Virginia Beach, we went to a majority-minority community. And you had Eli's Puerto Rican, you got me with long hair, you got Jocelyn who's a Ma, and we're all picking up trash in our Trump shirt. This black gentleman comes over to us and he's like, what are you guys doing? And I said, well, we're picking up trash, we care. And he said, I've never in my entire life seen anything like this. And he was so taken aback by it, and he said, can I get a picture with you guys? So you know what, even if he never votes for Trump, even if, whatever, the fact is, we made a difference. We touched a life. We showed them that Trump supporters are caring, kind, loving individuals. And I think we need more of that. We need to do more community service and show that we truly are that. We're not going to let the Democrats define the narrative. I'm going to define the narrative of my life. Become a poll watcher. Every single one of us needs to sign up to be an election officer or poll watcher. Look at what Brenda Snipes did in Florida. They tried to steal the election with that mystery ballot box that came in at the last second. And it was because we had people watching and on the inside that we discovered the ballot box, that Governor DeSantis, who's phenomenal, by the way, is the governor, and Rick Scott was being able to beat Bill, what's his name? Bill Nelson, who I didn't even think he would beat, but we did, and we had people on the inside, and we were watching again. I'm going to say this again. The Democrats are going to do whatever it takes to win. Whatever it takes to win. We need to have people on the inside. And to give you an idea, my friend Elisa moved to Minnesota. She moved to Minnesota years ago from Broward County, down where Brenda Snipes was. This last election in 2018, they sent to Elisa in Minnesota an actual Florida ballot to vote. An actual Florida ballot. So she's living in Minnesota, not registered in Florida, and they sent her a ballot to vote. How many people are double voting? How many people is this happening to? So we have to make sure that we are reporting when these things happen. She sent it to me, I said, okay, I'll blast it out. We got it out to the media, went out to Gateway Pundit, got it out there. So we just alerted people that this was happening. Murals. And Virginia Beach. Do you notice a lot of these stories happen in Virginia Beach? That's right, because I live down there. So you have Virginia Beach here, and you got North Carolina right below. So we got permission from this business owner to paint a mural on their building. And it said, "Save America, never Hillary." Really popular. Really popular. And it was just beautiful. It took us like a week to make. And every single person going down from Virginia Beach to North Carolina has to see it. And every person going from North Carolina to Virginia Beach has to see it. So again, I want this theme of having fun and being creative and thinking outside of the box to really come through. Because everybody's so busy. We're all frustrated and angry, and all the millennials are looking down at their phones all day long. And we need to have creative ways to reach people. That's why I do weird things like go stand out on the street corner, because they're like, what the heck is he doing? Community service, murals, letters to vote. Okay, that is the end of my presentation. So what I would like to do is I would like to open the floor to questions and answers or comments. This is the first time I've been in Connecticut, and I don't know when I'm coming back, so I really would like to have good dialogue, and if you have questions, now's your shot. Now's your opportunity. Yes, sir.
Well, you all have fixed budgets, and within that budget, how would you prioritize things like palm cards, radio ads, that sort of thing? What would you spend money for?
I want you all to repeat after me. Yard signs do not vote.
Thank you.
You guys see that, please? Yard signs do not vote.
Yard signs do not vote.
If you have a fixed income and a fixed budget and you're a candidate, spend it on door knockers, spend it on literature, mailers, phone calls, anything but yard signs. I mean, they say like, gosh, unless it's a close election, yard signs only do like 1 to 2% of the vote. So no, you don't want to spend your money on a whole bunch of yard signs. I'd rather have a field of door knockers out talking to people, actually doing face-to-face interaction. And that lady agrees with me, so there's Yes, sir. Trip.
I'm Trip. One of the things, if you guys go out to Google and look, is on Google Images, you cannot find the words patriotic police. There are very few images that have patriotic police. So, if we create a selfie with a cop, and we are wearing the right clothing, we can advertise all over Google anytime we want. What?
Doesn't that put the cop in a chance?
Not necessarily.
So for more details about those kinds of things, go over and make your way to Trip. Next question. Yes, ma'am. I think Lynette, right?
Yes. How about our voter rolls where we know there are registered Republicans? And obviously, if we could get all the registered Republicans out to vote, we wouldn't have as many problems. So what do you suggest, aside from new Republican registration, to activate those people that are Republicans that are disgusted or tired or unhappy and just have given up in a state like Connecticut.
We gotta excite them. We have to talk to them. And it may be a knock on their door. See, what people don't understand is there really is a science to political science, like truly. It takes like 7 touches to get somebody from their home to go vote, right? So that means that they see an ad on TV. That's a touch. No, not Joe Biden. That's a touch. A different kind of touch. Lord have mercy. You got a phone call. You got a knock at the door. You got a social media post. Somebody knocks on your door again. There's 5 touches. So the average American needs so many touches in order to go vote. So again, they may see me, I'll give you an example. I'm sitting at Starbucks in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is pretty blue, right? It's more Democratic. And I'm sitting there with my Trump computer. I go outside for a second to take a phone call. These 2 young kids walk out and they give me a high five. I'm like, I don't know why these kids are high fiving me, but great, whatever. And I stop it for a second on my phone call and I just say, hey, and they said, we love your computer, we love your car. The back of my car says Veterans Before Illegals. I mean, I'm very subtle in everything that I do. And they said, I go, are you registered to vote? The young man goes, well, I'm a registered independent. I was like, okay, great. And the girl goes, I'm not registered. I said, let me run in my car. I'm going to get you a voter registration form and 3 MAGA hat bumper stickers. So I did. But the fact of the matter is I created a new vote and I solidified 2 votes at least and gave them bumper stickers. So think of different ways that you can connect with people. I'm not from Kent. I'm not from New Milford. I got people protesting me out here. So think of fun ways that you can excite people. And what I always say too, because sometimes Lynette, you'll talk to people and they'll be like, my vote doesn't count. I don't matter. I'm just one person. Counted in Michigan, counted in Wisconsin, counted in Pennsylvania. They never dreamed that we would win Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or Michigan, and we did because I believe in the power of positivity. I believe if you dream something, you can make it happen. So we have to inspire people with enthusiasm and excitement and love and encouragement. If we live our lives like that and excite other people, oh my gosh, we're going to be an unstoppable rebel force that's going to win for the next 50 years. Good question, Lynette. Yes, sir.
Scott, you put the Democratic Party as prioritizing on the vote, especially those who are now becoming age 2021.
Yeah.
Will there be any tactics you recommend young Republican high school presidents or different companies to use their strategies in the way to benefit their own party?
Would you repeat the question? Let me stand and say the question.
I would like you to please introduce yourself and project real loud.
My name is Lee Lee. I'm the president of Brookfield High School Republican. I'm just wondering if there's any specific tactics you recommend that we use that the Democrats are using as Republicans.
Well, number one, thank you to this young man for being the president, for being outspoken, for raising your voice, for not letting the Democrats silence, intimidate, bully you, and I mean that, I really do. Because it's hard. It's difficult to put yourself out there, so thank you. What are the Democrats good at? The Democrats are really good at making a splash, making a scene. And if you think about it, that's kind of what we're doing today, right? We're doing that. Who would have ever thought that Kent would have me coming here to do a training? They're probably scared pantless, if you know what I mean. So we need to think up ideas like, for example, at your school, why not have the high school Republicans do something like a community organizing event? You know, just something fun. Or why not do a table like Louder with Crowder does, you know, ask me why I want to build a wall, change my mind, or, you know, do something like that, something fun where it's also engaging, and always, always, always take pictures, take video, because who knows what you'll be able to put on Twitter and Facebook that will change other minds. But just have fun with it, and just think of what, for example, is one of the most critical issues for the young folks right now. What are they talking about?
They protest quite frequently
Okay, so he said they protest about walls and racial issues, etc. So let's talk about these things. Let's define the narrative by turning it around. And I'd say, you know what? Immigration is a woman's issue. Look at Molly Tibbetts and Kate Steinle and all of the women that have been sexually assaulted by coyotes, etc. And really, and take it down. You know, I never raise my voice or anything, but I'd say, look, we're truly fighting for women's rights and for women by wanting to secure the border. We're against sex trafficking. We're against fentanyl and opioid overdoses. We're against our young women being taken away from us, and I'm very compassionate towards the American people. Let's also talk about statistics for a second, since they bring up race, right? Race is going to be a big issue, and especially if you're a white Republican, they're going to try to demonize you simply because of the color of your skin. There are 3.6 million black children in poverty. There are 4 million Hispanic children in poverty. There are 4.2 million white children in poverty. There are 50,000 homeless veterans. There are 500,000 homeless Americans. I would ask that question, why are we not taking care of the American people first? I believe that Black lives matter. I believe Hispanic lives matter. I believe white lives matter. I believe veterans' lives matter. And we need to do a better job of being all-inclusive, coming back at those statements, because they don't know what to say. I've seen it happen. I've said to them, I actually believe Black lives matter. I want to put our people first. So we need to take what they've co-opted, turn it around on them, and show that we are compassionate humanitarians. I hope that helps a little bit. That's it. Please give them a round of applause again. Yeah, let's keep them coming. Questions, comments? Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, we need to be talking to the kids. So, for example, and I know easier said than done, but we just simply have to be on campuses. It depends who gets them first. Is a Democrat going to talk to them first, or is a Republican going to talk to them first? And the Democrats are already there, so we have to be there. But to give you an example, college students get the freedom to register to vote in the state that they're going to school in. So let's say that you got a Californian who moved to Connecticut. We find out that person's a conservative voter by talking to them, etc. We can say, actually, your vote will mean more and have more power if you register to vote here in Connecticut as opposed to California. And so those college students, I've seen it happen in Virginia, had a whole bunch of people in states that were either red, and I know it's going to be red, or blue, and it's going to be blue, especially in swing states, have them transfer over. But I know it's a hard answer to your question, but we simply have to be on college campuses. I know that Charlie Kirk is going to do UConn Clash, right? He's coming up here, they're going to protest him too. But we have to go out and talk to them. And again, I don't care if you're 16 or 60, we have to be talking to the college kids and presenting a different ideology, presenting a different opinion, and challenging what they've been indoctrinated. I know that doesn't help you too much, but at least the voter registration will help.
Well, I'm saying it's a private school.
Oh, private schools?
This is private school, we're loaded.
Okay.
They're high school.
Well, we can stand on a street corner legally outside of the schools with different ideas. You know, just think of a creative way to reach them. I even in Virginia Beach, I stand on one corner where literally the school buses come by, and the kids, oh my gosh, this new generation of youngins that are coming up, they're actually more conservative. So we have to be talking to them to register them. Like this gentleman's age. Mine is the one that's screwed up. The millennials, we've done wrong. His is the good one. So we gotta talk to the younger ones below. Yes, Lisa.
One way that I've done to help get into New Milford High School is I have a 15-year-old conservative son who is looking to start a Republican club, after-school club. So that's one important way to be able to get out and reach the younger people is get your grandchildren involved, get your children involved. Get them engaging, building clubs in schools. I mean, they cannot stop you from having a Republican club in a high school.
Absolutely, and you can also get involved with like a third-party organization like the League of Conservative Women or something, and they allow those third-party organizations into the high schools to do voter registration as well. Good point, Lisa. Yes, sir.
When you're doing a voter registration drive, let's say outside of a shopping center, is there any way you can try to get more Republicans signed up than Democrats? Because when you're doing that, you could be registering Democrats as long as Republicans and unaffiliated. Is there anything that could be done to kind of without causing a problem to say?
Yes, sir. I understand exactly what you're saying. Not to embarrass you, but I don't think you listened to my presentation. I'm kidding you. So I didn't go up and ask Lisa, "Are you a Republican?" I didn't go up and ask Lisa, "Are you a Trump supporter?" I asked her things that most likely a conservative would agree with. So what works here in Kent? What works here in New Milford? Is it anti-infanticide? Is it supporting the police or Leos? Is it supporting securing the border? Ask
No
the
tolls.
questions. What is it?
No tolls.
No tolls. How do you feel about stopping these tolls? I'm all for it. Great. Are you registered to vote? No, I'm not. I'll register you to vote. Boom. Snap. You know, so you can use an identifying question to make sure we're not registering a whole bunch of liberals to vote. A great question. But next time, pay attention. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm gonna end the sentence. This question that I would know. You handle the voter thing, they told me they were conservative, they're all on board with me, and they go to sign and they check unaffiliated. They check. I can't make them check Republican unless I stay straight out.
Now, what you could do is I would still toe the line of we're going to be professional and not push one way or the other politically, but I'd say, just so you know, you did check the unaffiliated box. If you want to vote in a presidential primary, for example, or if you want to vote in a certain primary, you may want to consider choosing, and you may even gesture where you want to, but you may convince them that they want to get affiliated to be able to vote in a primary, because some people are we probably know more about politics than the average person. The average person may not even realize they have to be Republican or Democrat to vote in a primary. So great point from our committee woman, right? Committee woman, that we need to encourage people to do party affiliation as well. Okay, anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how do you deal, you specifically, right?
Yes.
So how do you deal with someone who says something negative? How do you respond and turn it around? Can you give an example?
Well, for someone like me that has received many middle fingers, many F words, just a lot of hate. You know, it depends on the person. I look at body language. So if they have their arms all crossed and they're giving you a death glare and they're protesting you outside, then you may not want to engage. But you know, sometimes I'll have fun with it and I'll just say, I love you so much. You know, especially if they're just being that rude. Or I'll do kind of what I did before. So, you know, I had one woman, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I was door knocking in Virginia. And I had on the back of my car, Gays for Trump. And she came up to me, oh my gosh, this woman was scorned. She came up to me, she goes, I just wanted to talk to you and see if you're actually gay and not just putting that on your car. start to like try to trick me. I swear to God, I swear to God, I swear. And I said, yeah, I am. I'm not lying. I said, I'm out here for Mr. Trump. I said, I really would like to see him get elected. And I just came at her with such compassion. I mean, even the way that you inflect your voice, from your tone to the way that I'm communicating, I'm very open. And I just said, here are the reasons why I'm supporting our president. And I'll tell you, by the end of it, and this was like a pro-late-term abortion advocate, like everything left. She said, you know what, from the way that you spoke with me, I'm gonna take your flyer and give it some thought. So sometimes it's just the way that we interact with people, from our body language to just being kind. Just be kind. Even in the face of hatred and all of that over there, we just come back at it with love, and sometimes it makes their brain fry. They don't know what to do. So watch just a gesture, watch how they come at you. But yeah, for all the hate I receive, I always come back at it with love. And especially if it's like a straight, super macho, masculine guy, if they're really mean, I'll blow them a kiss or something. And that always seems to do wonders. So have fun. Yes, sir. All the way from New York.
Do you keep your computer on full so that they pretty much know you're...
Up to you. Up to you. If you are in a conservative area, Trump. If you are not, come talk to me. Well, because not necessarily register to vote, but that's where you engage people. You say, hey, how do you feel about securing the border? And just talk to people that anybody comes by and they ask you what you're doing. Oh, well, I'm registering voters. But again, we want to strategically get the conservative vote to register them. So it's up to you. If you're in Hartford, don't do that. But if
But you basically are advertising voter registration.
Sure. Yeah, you can have a register to vote table. Absolutely. And here's a trick. So if somebody wants to register to vote, you can give them a form, even if they're a lefty, even if they're a liberal, nothing wrong with that, but you do not have to take their form. You can give them a form, but you do not have to turn it into the voter registration office. We will turn in the forms that we collect and do it legally and properly. Good question. Yes, ma'am. Hi there. With getting voters? Yeah. I'm going to use you as an example. You didn't think that you would, but you will. I met you through Facebook 5 days ago, if that, from the event that we posted. So you are here because of social media. Alfred is here because of Twitter. Blue is here because of Twitter, right? I'd say half of you are here from social media. And I will say, Twitter has changed my life. Twitter has changed my life. I created my Twitter account the day that President Obama was reelected. And I know, it's kind of cool. The day, that night, I was so disheartened. I was like, I gotta do something. I'm gonna create a Twitter account. And I don't know what to do. But I've effectively used it, and look where it's got me, and I mean that as humbly as I can. It's elevated me to a point where I can affect change on a national level. So I encourage every single person to get on Twitter, and if you are not on Twitter, I'm happy to personally teach you because I love Twitter. I love to get out the vote. So yeah, social media, every single one of us needs to be on it, and we need to be tweeting pictures and videos and saying, like today, you guys should all be tweeting and Facebooking. I'm at the Kent Community House for a voter registration training, and I'm surrounded by conservatives from all over the area, and we are tired of the Democrats having a stronghold on Connecticut, and we're pushing back. So every single one of us should be posting on social media. Good question. Yes, sir. Please introduce yourself. Awesome. There you go.
just looking at like the logical